On Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? What was the auditioning process like for you?
It didn't exist. So I was an unknown actor at the time, but had become friends with Joel and Ethan socially, mainly because Frances McDormand had met my wife and had met me a little bit and had learned a little bit about me. And I hope I'm not speaking out of school, but she was always eager to find couples that would match with her and Joel where they could go out together. And she was too frequently finding that it just wasn't ever really the right match, where Joel would really like the guy and Fran would like the woman. And then in the, what is it, Punnett square, that it would go diagonally too. And so she said, well, Tim and Lisa are a good, that's going to work. And so we became really good friends. And Joel just decided that I would be good as Delmar. I don't quite know how, or
he
why.
Just told you
Maybe.
This at dinner once?
No, what happened was I was directing this movie called O. And I was on location in South Carolina. And I got a call from Joel and saying he wanted to send me something. And so I gave him my address and he sent me the Oh Brother script and said, I need your advice. And what's funny is that I had heard on the radio when Clooney had accepted the part that they were going to be directing a movie with George based on the Odyssey.
Right.
And I thought, my God, that would be incredible. I would just do a cameo in that. But I'm directing this movie and they're doing it this summer. I'm going to be editing and whatever. So
it won't happen.
Forgot about it. So he sent me the script and I thought, oh, this is it. And he said, I want your advice. And I thought, oh, he wants to talk about the adaptation because I was a classics major in college. And I called him a week later and said, oh my God, Joel, this is so funny. How can I help? And he said, you're probably going to tell me to go fuck myself because I know you're going to be editing your movie this summer. But if we will move your edit to Mississippi, where you can just work on it down there, we want you to play Delmar. And I just couldn't believe it. It was just one of the craziest calls I've ever received in my life, probably ever will receive. And
was your heart beating?
I couldn't. They were absolute heroes of mine, as they are for all of us who do what we do. And what they've done for so many character actors has been extraordinary. I mean, they changed people's lives. Turturro, Buscemi, Polito, Phil Hoffman,
Cage.
Nicolas Cage, Fran, Holly Hunter. It's just, it's nothing short of outrageous. And here I was being offered this part, and he told me that it would be Clooney and Turturro. That was it. There was no audition. And I think one of the reasons is because they knew that they were going to do 3 shots. So it was a trio traveling, as Ethan used to describe when we were making it, 3 dopes walking across Mississippi. And they were going to do 3 shots. So widescreen, it was their first widescreen movie, 235. And then they were going to do single close-ups on George. But they didn't have the time or the resources, or frankly, I guess the interest, since George was playing Ulysses in an adaptation of the Odyssey. They weren't going to do close-ups on the other 2 actors. And they knew John would have no problem with that, because they'd worked with John so many times previously. But they wanted to put somebody in the Delmar role who also would be so grateful to have the role that when they did a close-up on George and then after the 3-shot and then moved on without giving the other 2 actors close-ups, that there wasn't going to be any issue. And Joel said, well, Tim isn't going to have a problem with that. And he was, of course, right.
Wow. And how long did you have to prepare for that?
Well, I had about 6 weeks, but I was also finishing shooting a movie and editing it.
How do you have time for that? And how are you not going crazy? Because I can't do many things.
And
at the
we
same
had
time.
a newborn. So my wife and I had a newborn, which I think you have.
No, I don't.
Okay.
Just those 2 dogs you saw.
All right.
That's enough for me.
So, we, so how did I have time? My wife was really generous and understanding. And so I worked some very, very long days in the editing room so that I needed to show a cut to the Weinsteins because they had purchased the movie in prep. So it was a negative pickup. And I needed to show them the movie in 6 weeks instead of the customary 10 weeks that a director gets.
Oh.
So I had to work long hours to get a creditable cut for them to see. And then come home and learn one of the lead roles in Joel and Ethan's movie. Luckily, the guy who talks the most in that movie is Clooney's character. So it wasn't terrifically challenging when one considered it was actually one of the lead roles. Because, so that's what I did.
And that was it.
That was it.
Was that just exciting? Do you remember that as one of the great times in your life filming that?
Well, first of all, Joel and Ethan are tremendous human beings. So not only are they great filmmakers, but they're generous, decent,
it's rare,
patient. The shooting feels like you're rehearsing. You don't feel a tremendous amount of pressure from them. They are so prepared and know so perspicuously what they want that, and they've cast with that in mind, so that there really isn't any rancor. And if you do something that they don't like, it's explained to you in a very friendly manner how what adjustment they want to make. They give you the sides, but also the storyboards in your trailer each morning as a part of your sides.
This is what we're doing.
This is what we're doing. There are no surprises, and you just go about your day. So there was that. And then George and John Goodman were all so incredibly friendly to me, and never treated me as though I were
the new guy.
Didn't belong.
Right.
Yeah, it was George and I played wiffle ball every day. He's a monster athlete, George.
Yeah. Do you still keep in touch with any of those guys?
Yeah. Turturro more, because George is, every time I interact with George, it's great, but he's an industry.
Yeah.
In addition to his acting, he's also a director and a producer, and he does a lot of eleemosynary work and, work with and he's got this incredible wife and family now, and he's got a spirits company. So
that's, by the way, and you had to sing. I mean, in the jailhouse now and all
got
that.
to sing.
Got to sing. What'd I say?
Yeah. Had to sing. Yeah.
Had to sing. You had to sing. I got to sing.
Yeah.